As we wait, it's gotten clear out there. Hardly any ice now. And okay, so then he originated this expedition,
yes,
this ship. Also, you were talking about how they would get the seals on the ice, the pack ice, when they were hungry. What they would do, the killer whales.
Down here in Antarctica, you can see sometimes you can see the killer whale. He is watching a seal who is laying on ice floe. And he's really looking at that seal. And then if he's hungry, he dives, and then he takes full speed against this ice floe. And just in front of the ice floe, he makes a big splash, and the seal gets scared and jumps down in the water, and then the killer whale takes this seal.
And looking at that seal just now, we kind of came along. Looking at that seal that was on the pack ice just now, it kind of jumped off there and kind of like a killer whale. I mean, the way we came past that seal just now.
How do you mean?
Well, we came by and the seal jumped off the pack ice, it seemed, and into the water, or perhaps it didn't. So it just happened to remind me of the story with the killer whale just now, how that seal just took off the ice.
045.
Okay. And also, it's a lovely day today. It's beautiful today, yes, but
yes. And now we have been fighting with our ice the whole night, and we can see now the Deception Island over there, and still we have pack ice in front of us, and hopefully we can do some more speed in about a couple of hours' time.
Right now, it is spring in the Antarctic, and December 21st becomes summer, and the coldest temperature ever recorded, as far as you know, happened in the Antarctic at 88.3 degrees below zero,
yes,
and Siberia was recorded at 83 degrees below zero?
Yes, 83.5.
Oh, let's not forget
Siberia, yes.
Let's not forget that 0.5. I thank you very much, and your exact title is?
I'm the chief mate on board, explorer.
And the same name as Captain Skog, but no relation.
Yeah, we have the same second name or surname, but my name is Peter, and the captain's name is Leif Skog.
Got it. I thank you very much, and it was nice to get you on tape. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
We are still on the bridge. It is 7:40 in the morning. Again, it's the 17th of November, 1994. And I guess I can drop the year now because we know what year we're in, obviously. And for a while we had a clearing of the ice, and now it is really dense, huge chunks of this pack ice. The average, I guess, is about 4 foot deep, and of course that ever-present gorgeous electric blue, the iridescent blue coming up from the water. We're going through the pack ice now and moving slightly starboard. You can see the shift of the nose of the boat, the ship, straight out. We're going to Deception Island from the other side because we're heading north right now. And I don't know if we can hear any of this. Let's listen. Let's see what we hear from the bridge. Hard starboard, and I guess, and it's shifting to the right now, the nose starboard. Moving, shifting to the right, to the nose. Steady she goes. Let's listen. Mostly the ice is being pushed out of the way at this point. I wonder if you can feel the rumble here. I don't know. Anyway, that's the pack ice update. Let's cut tape. Just briefly relating a story that we were told off tape by Mr. Skog. The many foreign dignitaries, presidents from throughout the world have traveled on the Explorer. When Nixon opened China, a Chinese delegation, this ship was there to help open that door, and there was a Chinese delegation on board. And so there's a history to the ship, and one president in particular, the president of the Seychelle Islands, was on board, and he showed up in his Rolls Royce and the motorcycle escort, and everything was swell, and he came aboard, and he was on for 14 days, and while he was here, he toured in his private Zodiac. They had a private Zodiac, and there was a case of beer on board, and it was swell, and everything was great. And while he was gone, he was tossed out of office. And when he came back, they had to sneak him off the ship to a safe place. And and he was not the first president or first head of state that lost his gig while he was on board. And so I guess the point here is, if you're the president, don't go off into the Antarctic. You may not have your gig when you come home. So that's that's a little story I thought I'd pass on to you. A little humor here on a Thursday morning. Again, November 17th. It is springtime in the Antarctic. And it's I think the sunrise was 3:30 this morning. The sunset will be about 9:30 tonight. As we get further into winter, it's dark 24 hours a day. In the summer, it's the midnight sun, and it's light all the time. So, and we'll kind of discuss that with Larry, the phenomena there. So that's the story right now. That's here from here. And once more, let's cut tape. And I think unless something happens here, that I want to go back on the air with, I think the next thing we'll be hearing is the good morning, everyone, from Matt Drennan. Well, there's something new to report just off starboard, right in front of us, and there really is no way to what we can do about this. But right on one of the patches of pack ice, there were 7 or 8 penguins. What kind of penguins were they? They were Adelie penguins, so I got to see the Adelie penguins. I don't recall seeing them on our last stop. Anyway, there was no way to divert around them, so they heard the ship coming behind and spotted it and just belly whopped off the pack ice and into the water and swam just swimming right to left just in front of us, and we watched them kind of, and I guess they went to find someplace new to hang out, so that's what was happening. Also, what's planned today, sometime today, is a stop at a Brazilian Antarctic research station and on King George's Island. Now, it's called the Comandante Ferraz station, and we'll get a little background on the name when we can. Right now, Matt speaking with Mr. Skog. Mr. Skog mentioned that it looks like it's getting a little bit better out there because it really is very dense ice right now. And Matt Drennan made the point and said it's better if we're to reach the station. So that's we're hoping to reach the station. I'm just looking, it just gets better looking out here all the time. So now I guess it's going on 8 a.m. It's about 7 minutes before 8. And I guess now we'll hear I believe the wake-up call usually comes around 8 a.m. So let's listen for that. Cut tape. It is about 8 a.m. right now, just a moment or so before 8 a.m. Matt has not made his announcement yet. We will get it on tape when he does it. So here's another thought in the meantime, or a couple of thoughts. The Adelie penguins that just jumped off the packed ice. This is the classic penguin. The chin stripe, of course, having the chin, and the chin too, the white spot, and the blue-eyed shag with the blue around the eye. The Adelie is the one that is seen more often than any of them. This is sort of the classic black-white penguin. Also, speaking of birds, I think you remember Linda Muir from early on, and her husband, who's a dentist from Chicago, Paul Muir. She spoke about birds always dropping on her, the droppings. She's with American Airlines of all things, and so far, and I'll try to get it back on tape, but at this point, and we'll be leaving this ship on the 21st of November. She hasn't been dropped on, so that's an update. So that's speaking of birds. Also, one more thing, Jim Bear, who is from Colorado, and we had him on earlier, on the 16th of November, he took 105 photographs. And the point I'm trying to make is you just simply do not come with enough film for this trip. You don't come with enough paintbrushes. You don't come with enough because you want to photograph everything, you want to paint everything, you want to describe everything. As it is, I ran out of tape.